Dr. Alara Reynolds, a renowned computational linguist, traced the fated script. Years spent deciphering patterns had led her here, to the heart of the Vatican archives. She sought anomalies, hidden structures within the Bible's text, something beyond mere coincidence. Her AI, Oracle, had flagged it. A recurring sequence, statistically improbable, appearing across disparate passages. A signature, almost. The pattern was subtle, almost imperceptible to the untrained eye. Oracle had identified it, a complex mathematical sequence woven into the very fabric of the text. It wasn't a simple code, but a sophisticated algorithm, echoing principles of prime number distribution and Fibonacci sequences. Alara felt a chill. This wasn't random. It felt intentional. A deliberate layering, a hidden message encoded within faith's foundational words. Oracle, Alara's AI, was more than just a program, it was an extension of her mind, capable of processing unimaginable quantities of data. The AI had been trained on every known text, every linguistic structure. It wasn't merely searching, it was seeing relationships that humans couldn't. The implications were staggering. Could scripture contain a hidden layer of coded information, a blueprint for humanity's journey? Doubt not at Alara. Was this a trick of the algorithms? A statistical fluke? Years of rigorous scientific training battled with her growing fascination. She ran simulations, cross-referencing the sequence with countless other texts, historical documents, even ancient astronomical charts. The pattern persisted, unwavering. It was a whisper across millennia. The weight of history settled upon Alara. The Vatican, a repository of centuries of faith and scholarship, held a secret she was only beginning to uncover. Could this signature reshape our understanding of religious texts, of humanity's origins? The potential ramifications were immense, capable of challenging fundamental beliefs. A sense of profound responsibility washed over her. This wasn't just academic curiosity, it was something far bigger. She felt like she was on the verge of a monumental discovery, a revelation that could redefine humanity's place in the cosmos. But with such power came immense risk. Unbeknownst to Alara, her work had attracted unwanted attention. Someone, or something, was watching. A clandestine organization, perhaps, or a faction within the Vatican itself, guarding secrets best left undisturbed. Their motives were unclear, but their presence was undeniable. Oracle detected an intrusion, a sophisticated attempt to access her data. Someone was trying to steal her findings. Alara slammed the firewall, adrenaline surging through her veins. The stakes had escalated. This wasn't just about deciphering scripture anymore, it was about protecting a truth that powerful forces wanted to suppress. The pattern wasn't confined to the text itself. Oracle had discovered correlations between the sequence and locations, ancient temples, sacred sites, places of pivotal religious events throughout history. The signature seemed to be anchored to specific points on the globe, suggesting a deliberate, intentional placement. Alara knew she couldn't stop now. The truth was within reach, a fragile thread connecting the past, present, and perhaps even the future. She was determined to unravel the mystery, no matter the cost. The journey had just begun, and the answers, she suspected, were far more profound than she could have ever imagined. Alara traced the connection, a faint energy signature pulsing from each location. The sequence wasn't random, it was a key, a map to something hidden. A forgotten power, perhaps? The intrusion felt personal, targeted. Someone knew what Oracle had found, and they wanted it for themselves. She felt a growing sense of urgency, a race against an unknown adversary. The digital trail led her to a remote island in the Aegean Sea. The island held an aura of ancient mystery. Crumbling temples hinted at a civilization lost to time. Oracle identified a specific structure, a temple dedicated to a deity associated with knowledge and secrets. The energy signature intensified near the temple's foundations. Alara prepared for a physical investigation, a dangerous step into the unknown. She knew the risks, but the potential reward, understanding the sequence's origin, was too great. Descending into the temple's depths, Alara felt a shift in the atmosphere. The air grew heavy, charged with an unseen energy. Hieroglyphs covered the walls, depicting celestial events and strange, geometric patterns. The sequence was woven into the temple's very fabric, a deliberate design. She activated her scanning device, searching for a hidden chamber or mechanism. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the sound of her own breathing. The corridor twisted and turned, leading deeper into the earth. The hieroglyphs became more intricate, more unsettling. Alara detected a concealed door, cleverly disguised as part of the wall. She ran her hand over the stone, searching for a trigger. A faint click echoed in the silence, and the door slid open, revealing a hidden chamber. The chamber pulsed with a soft, ethereal light. In the center stood a pedestal, upon which rested a crystalline structure, humming with energy. It was the source of the signature, the heart of the mystery. The crystals resonated with the sequence, amplifying its power. Alara cautiously approached, her hand hovering over the device, ready to analyze the data. The crystal pulsed, projecting holographic images of constellations and ancient symbols. The sequence wasn't just a map, it was a code, a set of instructions. The images shifted, revealing a celestial alignment that occurred only once every 1,000 years. This alignment was imminent. Alara worked feverishly, trying to understand the implications of the celestial alignment. The sequence wasn't just about finding locations, it was about timing. The alignment was a gateway, a window to another dimension, or perhaps another time. She realized the intrusion wasn't about stealing data, but about preventing something from happening. A cold hand gripped her shoulder. Alara whirled around, facing a figure cloaked in darkness. "You shouldn't have come this far," a voice whispered, laced with menace. The figure lunged for her device, intent on silencing her. Alara fought back, dodging the figure's grasp. The crystalline structures vibrated as they struggled, the energy intensifying. The chamber began to shake. The figure possessed unnatural strength, moving with impossible speed. Alara knew she was outmatched. With a desperate move, Alara activated a hidden mechanism. A wave of energy surged from the crystals, pushing the figure back. The chamber stabilized, but the air crackled with residual power. The figure vanished into the shadows, leaving Alara alone with the humming crystals and the daunting task ahead. The alignment was coming. The air hung heavy with the scent of ozone. Alara's device, a complex array of wires and shimmering components, flickered erratically. The energy surge had damaged it, but not irreparably. She needed to reach the surface, to warn the others about the shadowy organization hunting the crystalline technology. The figure's words echoed in her mind, "You shouldn't have come this far." This wasn't just about stealing a device, it was about controlling something far greater. Determination hardened her features. Bruises bloomed on her cheek, a testament to the struggle. Fear gnawed at her, but she pushed it down. Failure wasn't an option. The fate of her people, perhaps the entire world, rested on her ability to protect this technology. She had to find allies, people who understood the power and the danger it represented. The shadowy organization wouldn't stop until they possessed it. She navigated the labyrinthine tunnels beneath the facility, the air growing colder with each step. The tunnel walls were slick with moisture, reflecting the weak beam of her light. Each echoing drip of water amplified the silence, a silence that felt pregnant with unseen dangers. She moved with caution, listening for any sign of pursuit, any indication that her escape was compromised. A soft, ethereal glow illuminated a small, bioluminescent creature clinging to the tunnel wall. It resembled a large insect, its body pulsing with a gentle light. The creature regarded her with large, curious eyes. Alara paused, momentarily distracted by its beauty. It seemed unharmed by the energy surge, a testament to the unique ecosystem thriving beneath the surface. Reaching a dead end, Alara carefully manipulated her damaged device. The crystals within hummed, responding to her touch. A section of the wall shimmered and dissolved, revealing a hidden passage. It was a secret route, likely used by the facility's original builders. A surge of hope coursed through her. This could be her way out. The passage sloped upwards, the air growing fresher. Strange symbols adorned the walls, unlike anything Alara had ever seen. They seemed to pulse with a faint energy, whispering secrets in a language she couldn't understand. The tunnel widened, opening into a larger chamber. She felt a shift in the atmosphere, a sense of anticipation. The chamber was vast and filled with dormant machinery, covered in a layer of dust. Intricate gears and pipes lined the walls, hinting at a forgotten purpose. The machinery seemed to be powered by the same crystalline energy as her device. It was clear this facility was far older and more advanced than she had initially thought. Drawn to a central control panel, Alara tentatively touched a crystalline node. The panel sprang to life, displaying a series of complex diagrams and symbols. Lights flickered, and the machinery around her began to hum. A low, resonant frequency filled the chamber. It felt like she had awakened something powerful. A holographic projection shimmered into existence above the control panel, displaying a detailed map of the surrounding area. Locations flashed, marked with cryptic symbols. One symbol, a stylized eye, pulsed with an ominous red light. It was a warning. She wasn't alone in discovering this place. A cold dread washed over Alara as she studied the map. The red eye pulsed closer to her current location. They were tracking her. The organization hadn't vanished, they were simply waiting. She needed to escape, to reach safety, and to find allies before it was too late. Her journey had just begun. The map shifted, highlighting a hidden pathway through the asteroid field. A risky route, but the only one avoiding the main sensor grid. Alara felt a surge of adrenaline, a desperate hope battling rising fear. She initiated the sequence, overriding the security protocols. The ship shuddered violently as it prepared for an emergency jump. Time was running out. They were closing in. She had to trust her instincts. The fate of the rebellion might depend on it. Hyperspace was turbulent, throwing the ship around like a toy. Alara focused on the navigation, adjusting course to avoid debris. The holographic map flickered, showing the projected path ahead. She could feel the presence of the pursuing ship, a cold, calculating force. It was gaining. She needed to shake them off, to disappear into the vastness of space. The jump was unstable. An alarm screamed, signaling a breach in the shields. Damage reports flooded the screen. The pursuing ship had managed to lock onto them. Alara cursed under her breath. They were more advanced than she anticipated. She initiated a countermeasure, deploying a series of decoy flares. A desperate attempt to buy them time. The flares erupted in a dazzling display of light. The ship danced through the asteroid field, a deadly game of cat and mouse. Laser fire whizzed past, narrowly missing the hull. Alara expertly piloted the vessel, using the asteroids as cover. The pursuit ship was relentless, its targeting systems locked on. She had to find a way to disable their tracking beacon. A risky maneuver, but it was their only chance. Lines of code scrolled across the screen, a complex web of algorithms. Alara dove into the ship's core systems, searching for a backdoor. She needed to find a way to jam their communication array. The enemy was closing, their ship's silhouettes growing larger. The pressure was immense. Failure was not an option. A green light flashed on the screen. The tracking beacon was offline. The pursuit ship hesitated, momentarily disoriented. Alara seized the opportunity, accelerating the ship's speed. She pushed the engines to their limit, escaping the immediate threat. It was a temporary reprieve. They wouldn't give up easily. The ship plunged into a vibrant nebula, a swirling canvas of cosmic colors. Alara expertly navigated through the dense clouds of gas and dust. The nebula provided a perfect cover, obscuring their location from the pursuing ship. But it also made navigation difficult. She had to be precise. Any mistake could be fatal. The pursuing ship followed, its sensors struggling to penetrate the nebula's dense atmosphere. The ship's systems sputtered, its targeting systems unreliable. Alara watched from the bridge, a grim satisfaction on her face. They were losing ground. But the nebula wasn't a perfect shield. A strange anomaly appeared within the nebula, a massive, metallic structure, seemingly ancient. It blocked the pursuing ship's path. The pursuing ship altered course, attempting to bypass the obstruction. Alara stared in disbelief. Something was protecting them. Alara made a decision. She steered the ship towards the enigmatic structure, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. It was a gamble, but she had no other choice. As they approached, the structure pulsed with an unknown energy. A new chapter was beginning, a path unknown. The ship glided into the structure's shadow, a sense of anticipation filling the bridge. Strange symbols glowed on its surface, resonating with an energy Alara couldn't comprehend. The pursuing ship remained frozen, its systems completely overwhelmed. This ancient construct wasn't just an obstacle, it was a guardian. A silent promise of answers, of a history lost to time. The nebula seemed to hold its breath, awaiting the ship's arrival. A soft hum permeated the vessel, a welcoming sound amidst the cosmic silence. Alara felt a connection, a sense of belonging to this forgotten place. The gamble was paying off. Inside, the structure was a labyrinth of shimmering pathways and pulsating crystals. Jax ran a hand along a cool, smooth surface, his usual skepticism replaced with wonder. The air thrummed with energy, a symphony of forgotten technology. Images flickered on the crystalline walls, scenes of a civilization far advanced, harnessing the power of the nebula itself. Alara understood. This wasn't a defense, it was a repository, a library of knowledge. The ancient beings hadn't vanished, they had transcended, leaving behind their legacy for those worthy to find it. Their story, their wisdom, was now within reach. A holographic projection sprang to life, depicting the civilization's golden age. They were beings of light and energy, living in harmony with the nebula, manipulating its power for the benefit of all. Their cities floated amongst the stars, powered by the very fabric of space. They had achieved a level of understanding that humanity could only dream of. The projection showed their peaceful departure, a conscious decision to evolve beyond the physical realm. They left behind guidance, a path for others to follow. A gentle wave of warmth washed over Alara, a sense of profound peace. The structure communicated, not through sound, but through light and energy. Complex patterns danced across the walls, translating into words within Alara's mind. Seek balance, the message conveyed. Embrace change. The universe is ever evolving. It was a simple message, yet profound in its implications. The ancient beings weren't offering technology or power, they were offering wisdom. A new understanding dawned on Alara. The true treasure wasn't what they found, but what they learned. The pursuit of power had blinded them, the path to enlightenment lay in acceptance. The ship emerged from the nebula, leaving the ancient structure behind. The pursuing vessel had retreated, defeated not by force, but by understanding. Alara looked at Jax, a shared sense of purpose in their eyes. They carried the legacy of a lost civilization, a message of hope for the future. The journey ahead wouldn't be easy, but they were ready. They had found more than they sought. They had found themselves. The universe held endless possibilities, and they were ready to explore them, guided by the wisdom of the ancients. A new era had begun.